Welcome you all in the presentation of dams and reservoirs. I am Trupti Pandya from Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. This video explain about reservoirs and next about dams. Let's start with the contents. This video include types of reservoir, investigations carried out for reservoir site selection, zones of storage of reservoir, yield, safe yield, reservoir capacity, reservoir sedimentation and control. Let's start with the definition. What is reservoir? Reservoir is an area developed by water body due to construction of dam. So, in other words, a reservoir is a large artificial lake created by constructing a dam across a river. So, before going to the storage reservoir purposes, let's see one figure to explain reservoir. So, what is reservoir? This is one figure for explanation of reservoir. Reservoir is a large artificial lake. This is reservoir, and it is constructed by constructing a dam. Reservoir constructed or located at the upstream of the dam, upstream side. So this is upstream side and this is downstream. So upstream means the portion of river before dam, and downstream the portion of river after dam. So I hope it is clear. Reservoir is artificial lake created by constructing a dam across a river, right? And it is constructed upstream of the dam. Now, second question is why reservoir is required? So, the flow in a river generally varies during different period of year, right? Our rainfall is uncertain. So during low flow, or we can say during dry period or summer season, it not possible to meet water demand for various purposes such as water supply, irrigation, power generation, right? So it is essential to create a reservoir or a storage lake, right, to fulfill the requirement. Means reservoir store a certain amount of water during rainy season, and that store water is released during low flow to meet the demand, right? So that's why the reservoir is known as storage reservoir, which serves following purposes. Means that store water can be used for irrigation purpose, water supply, hydroelectric power generation, flood control, navigation, recreation, development of fish and wildlife, and soil conservation. So these are the purposes which are to be served by constructing a reservoir or by storing water in the reservoir. Let's see the classification. So broadly, uh, what is the main function of reservoir? It store water, and that store water can be used for different purposes. So based on this definition, there are two types of reservoir: single purpose reservoir and multi-purpose reservoir. Means if a reservoir is constructed to supply, say, water supply, used for water supply, right, and no other purpose is served by it, then it is known as single purpose reservoir. And if reservoir supply that water supply for irrigation purpose as well as for power generation, then it is known as multi-purpose reservoir, right? So depending, these are the classification depending on the purpose served. First one is storage reservoirs. Storage reservoirs are called conservation reservoirs because they are used to conserve water. Storage reservoirs are constructed to store the water in the rainy season and to release it later when the river flow is low. Right? Second, flood control reservoir. A flood control reservoir is constructed for purpose of flood control. It protects the areas lying on its downstream side from the damages due to flood. There are two types of flood control reservoir: retarding reservoir and detention reservoir. A retarding reservoir is provided with spillway and sluiceway, which are ungated. The retarding reservoir stores a portion of flood when the flood is rising and release it later when the flood is receding. Detention reservoir. A detention reservoir stores excess water during floods and release it after the flood. It is similar to a storage reservoir but is provided with large gated spillways and sluiceways to permit flexibility of operation. Right? So these two are flood control reservoir, and the difference between them is in retarding reservoir there is no control by gate and valves. Sometimes it may be provided without spillways, right? While in detention reservoir, the control of flow is done by gates and valve. The detention reservoir stores excess water during flood and release it later. So, better control in case of detention reservoir compared to retarding reservoir. Next classification is distribution reservoir. A distribution reservoir is a small storage reservoir to tide over the peak demand of water from municipal water supply or irrigation. The distribution reservoir is helpful in permitting the pumps to work at a uniform rate. It stores water during the period of lean demand and supply the same during the period of high demand. As I said earlier, multi-purpose reservoir. They are constructed for more than single purpose. Another types of reservoir is balancing reservoirs. A balancing reservoir is a small reservoir constructed downstream of the main reservoir for holding water released from the dam. So in case of excess or heavy rain or high flood condition, at the side of the dam side small lake is constructed, and that known as balancing reservoir, which store excess water during excess period of rain. So this is the end of classification or types of reservoir. Let's start with investigations for reservoir planning. So it is very huge structure. Dam and reservoir are very costly and huge structures, so lots of investigations and surveys are to be carried out before implementation, right? So the following investigations are required for reservoir planning: engineering surveys, geological investigations, and hydrological investigations. A team of engineers, geologists, and specially qualified hydrological investigations is to be carried out. Let's start with engineering surveys. So conducted for dam, reservoir and other associated work. The area of the dam site and reservoir basin should be surveyed thoroughly to prepare what? Topographical map and contour map right? The topographic survey of the area is carried out and the contour plan is prepared. The horizontal control is usually provided by triangulation survey and the vertical control by precise leveling. So in engineering survey, the site and the basin is surveyed and prepared. Topographical map, contour maps are prepared, and thereby we can with the help of contour map and topographical map we can find out the storage capacity, how much storage area is available for reservoir, right? So with the help of these engineering surveys and maps we can find out or we can calculate the storage capacity of reservoir. Geological investigation. Geological investigations of the dams and reservoir site are done for the following purpose. 1. Suitability of foundation for the dam, right? The type and height of the dam mainly depend on the type of foundation. The subsoil must be hard, right? Hard rock helps for low gravity dam, right? The subsurface exploration is to be carried out to determine the depth of overburden to be excavated and removed by laying the foundation of the dam. The natural rock formation below and the nature and extent of the fault zone, if any present in the rock, right? Such type of investigation is to be carried out in to find out the suitability in terms of foundation. Second, water tightness of the reservoir basin. The reservoir basin should be watertight, right? So that the stored water is not wasted due to the seepage through the bed and banks. So it must be watertight. Location of the quarry site for construction material. So huge amount of material is to be used in construction of dam and reservoir. So large quantity of construction material required, right? So geological investigations are conducted for location of suitable quarries for stones and borrow areas for soils. So special geological investigation is to be done for quarry site. So thereby we can reduce the cost of the project, right? The quality and quantity of the available construction material are also ascertained, right? So these three are the purposes of geological investigation. Hydrological investigation. The hydrological investigations are conducted for following purpose: to study the runoff pattern and storage capacity, and to determine the maximum discharge at site. So with the help of that runoff pattern, uh, we can determine the storage capacity of the reservoir with the help of hydrograph and of the worst flood. Uh, we can determine the spillway capacity and the design, right? So hydrological investigation is important for the selection of the types of dam and the height of dam and storage capacity of the reservoirs. So this is the end of second topic, investigations carried out for dam and reservoir. Let's see the site selection. Site selection for reservoir. So following factors are considered for selecting the site of dam and reservoir. First is large storage capacity, right? So the topography of the site should be such that the reservoir is constructed for the storage purpose. So topography should be such that we get large storage capacity naturally. River valley should be narrow. Length of the dam, length of dam to construct is less. This is the most important point for construction of dam. The section of the section of river valley should be narrow. Water tightness of reservoir, as we have already discussed in geological survey, the reservoir basin should be watertight, otherwise the stored water will spill out from the bank and beds, right? So water tightness must be there. Good hydrological condition means runoff, that flood, rainfall. So surrounding means that watershed should be such that that section or the point of the dam get maximum runoff, right? So we can serve our main purpose of storage. Deep reservoir, as means large storage capacity, and deep reservoir both are same factors, means the river valley must be deep, so we get maximum storage naturally. Small submerged area, so area submerged by constructing a dam and reservoir should be small. So in high flood condition, uh, small area should be submerged. Low silt inflow, this is very dangerous situation where silt inflow is more, the reservoir become useless after few years, right? So the river should carry low silt inflow. No objectionable minerals, right? The water and the geological formation of that particular site and the material used from the quarry should not contain some objectionable minerals, right? Low cost of real estate, right? The site should be such that the surrounding land value should be low. Site easily accessible, to minimize the cost of the project. The site should be easily accessible. So there are many factors which affect the site selection, right? Some topographical factors, some economical factors are there, socio-economical factors are also there, right? So considering all such factors in plus or minus manner, the site should be selected. Now this is the most important topic, zones of storage of reservoir, right? The most important topic for reservoir chapter, I can say. Zones of storage. So what is the purpose or function of reservoir? It store water, right? It is artificial lake. So that storage is divided into three parts, right? So this is dam, and on its upstream this whole portion is reservoir, right? So it stored water up to the height of reservoir, height of the dam, right? Some portion of the water store, right? So that stored water which is not used for uh, the purpose served by the reservoir is known as dead storage. Another word is useful storage, and another word is surcharge storage, right? So the storage capacity of reservoir is designated by several zones, by certain water surfaces and pool levels in the reservoir, which is shown in this figure, right? Let's see, it is very simple and easy question. Just you have to remember the figure. So in this figure, this is one of the gravity dam, in which at the lower portion we provide one opening outlet which is known as sluice gate, right? And the this is the one component of dam. Other component is spillway crest. So spillway and dam are constructed parallelly, right? And the overflowing section of dam is known as spillway, right? So it is, I can say it, this is dam also, this is spillway also, but here we are showing that the flow is over or top of the that structure. That's why this structure is known as spillway, right? So within that spillway, there are two components, sluice gate and crest. Other components are of reservoir or the water, in which one is the dead storage, another is useful storage, and third one is surcharge storage. And there are levels also, minimum pool level, maximum pool level, and over here is normal pool level. Okay, so three levels, three storage water. Clear? So this is spillway gate. If it is gated spillway, then here the gates are provided, and this is the overtopping water. Clear? So for explaining this zones of storage, you have to remember this figure. Now, in which we have to explain the levels and storage, right? First is full reservoir level, which is known as FRL. The full reservoir level is the highest water level to which the water surface will rise during normal operating condition. Maximum water level. The maximum water level is the maximum level to which the water surface will rise when the designed flood passes over the spillway. And minimum pool level. The minimum pool level is the lowest level up to which the water is withdrawn from the reservoir under ordinary condition. So here we have to remember three conditions. One is the, I can say, normal, like winter season. Other is summer season, and third one is monsoon season, right? So winter season is, I can say, ordinary condition, right? Normal operating condition. So in, say, winter season we get full reservoir level. Maybe after monsoon we get full reservoir level. At the time of heavy rain we get maximum water level, and in summer, ordinary condition, minimum pool level. So where is full reservoir level? Here is full reservoir level, normal condition. At the time of heavy rain or flood condition, we get maximum pool level, and in summer season or low rainfall season we get minimum pool level. Clear? So these are the levels, and between them storage, right? The first is dead storage. What is dead storage? The volume of water held below the minimum pool level. So we have to remember these three levels, and the water stored between these three levels is known as storage. So the water available below minimum pool level is known as dead storage. It is provided to cater for the sediment deposition by the impounding sediment laid in water. Normally, it is equivalent to volume of sediment expected to be deposited in the reservoir during the design life reservoir. So, dead storage means that volume of water which is usually not used for any purposes because it is completely filled with sediment, right? So, what is useful water? Second category, live storage or useful storage. The volume of water stored between full reservoir level and the minimum pool level is called useful storage. It assures the supply of water for specific period to meet the demand. Bank storage. It is developed in the voids of soil covering the reservoir area and become available as seepage of water when water level drops down. It increases the reservoir capacity over and below that given by elevation storage curves. So bank storage means the volume of water stored in the banks due to seepage, right? It is not effective storage. Valley storage. The volume of water held by the natural river channel in its valley. So this valley storage is the I can say that amount of water stored by river itself throughout the year up to the top of the banks before the construction of a reservoir is called valley storage. The valley storage depend upon the cross section of the river. Flood surcharge storage. It is the storage contained between maximum reservoir level, full reservoir level. It varies with spillway capacity of dam for given design flood. So I hope it is clear. Levels and storage. What you have to remember this figure in which you have to draw three lines. One at the lower level at the sluice gate minimum pool level, second at the crest which is normal pool level, and third above the crest, or here you can show one gate, and at the top of the gate you have to show maximum pool level. Now that amount of water which is not used for any purpose, so it is not used for any purpose, that's why it is known as dead storage. So what the amount of water which is used for any purposes is known as useful storage. So useful storage is over here. And surcharge storage means it is only available during high flood condition and which is not used for any purpose. It is just go down at the downstream because it is not stored in the reservoir, so it going in the river itself. So three levels. Okay, valley storage is somewhat over here, right, before reservoir, or it is available before constructing a dam structure. And bank storage means the amount of water stored in the bank due to seepage, right? I hope it is clear. Let's see the yield. So before starting safe yield, what is yield? Yield is the volume of water which can be withdrawn from a reservoir in a specific period of time. So amount of water withdrawn is known as yield. And safe yield is the maximum quantity of water which can be supplied from a reservoir in a specific period of time during critical dry year. So safe yield, safe, that during dry period we want water to satisfy the demand, and at that time we get water from the reservoir. That's why it is known as safe. So we store it safely and we used it when it is required. There is no water in the river. When there is no water in the river, that's why it is known as safe yield. So this definition is very important. Safe yield is the maximum quantity of water available in the reservoir and which is supplied during critical dry year. Then other category of yield is secondary yield. It is the quantity of water which is available during the period of high flow in the river when the yield is more than the safe yield. If the amount of water is more, the amount of water more than safe yield is known as secondary yield. average yield. The average yield is the arithmetic average of the firm yield and the secondary yield over a long period of time, right? Design yield. The design yield is the yield adopted in the design of reservoir. The design yield is usually fixed after considering the urgency of the water needs and the amount of risk involved, right? So these are the classification of yield, I can say, right? Now next is reservoir capacity. This topic we will discuss in next video.